HBO's The Last of Us. I don't like season 1. I need to get that out of the way. I'll make a big, long, elaborate video on why soon. I have two major fears going into the season that I have gotten from the trailer. Catherine O'Hara, as who most people assume is a therapist. We think she's a therapist because of what we've seen in the teasers, obviously, but also because she jokes that she kicks some ass psychologically. Here's my issue with this: why is Joel there, and why is he crying? Crying in this context suggests to me some sort of regret or guilt, but Joel does not feel regret or guilt for what he did at the hospital. At the end of the game, he tells Ellie to her face,
"I would do it all over again."
When he tells Tommy what he did at the beginning of the game, he tells him in a very straightforward way, and he's not crying while he does it. He should not be talking about this and crying because he has no reason to cry. The only times he cries over the span of 2 games is when his daughter gets shot and dies in his arms, and when Ellie says she'll try to forgive him for what he did. And that was after at least a year of no communication. The moments he's vulnerable during are so strong because he doesn't walk around talking and crying. So Joel would not be crying to this therapist, and he shouldn't be talking to a therapist about this in the first place. Joel is a guy who processes things internally. This is what makes it impactful when he says something personal outwardly, and he pretty much always has to be pushed to do so, or he probably wouldn't.
If you lie to me one more time, I'm gone. You will never see me again.
And even under these circumstances, he still takes a moment to convince himself it's time to be honest.
Making a vaccine.
By introducing a therapist and having Joel cry to her, you take weight away from Joel processing the truth to Ellie. You take weight away from the few times Joel cries, you take weight away from the conversations he has about it in the second game, which only happen either between his brother or his surrogate daughter. This isn't a subject matter you can dump in a scene with a therapist. This is a whole entire character and his whole entire relationship with his daughter hanging by a thread. And then you can think about it in a completely different way as well. What is the tension in this scene? What are we gaining by including this scene? Is the tension supposed to be, will he tell the truth? Because that tension is supposed to be between him and Ellie, not a therapist. So by doing it twice, it loses some of the impact it would have only doing it once. I do not see a way to spin this that makes it a valuable addition to the story, because it doesn't do anything that wasn't already done between Ellie and Joel in the game, and it in fact weakens their conversations and characters because it is a source of redundancy. Anyways, let's continue with the trailer. Most of it looks fine. Looks like they're following the game very closely. They don't really have much wiggle room with this story. Here, we come to Joel on the porch. What do you guys think is more impactful? Or do you like having Bella Ramsey stand in the woods and look at him from over there more? Yeah, that's great. Have Bella Ramsey stand 100 feet away in the trees and look at him. What are they doing to my favorite franchise over there at HBO? But that could be written off as a nitpick, I guess. More objectively, I'm worried about this scene being teased in the trailer because that means it's probably part of Season 2. In the game, this is the very last scene. The most important scene in the whole game. A scene that wraps up both character arcs, makes you understand all of Ellie's actions, makes you feel good about her relationship with Joel, etc. It's the missing puzzle piece that pulls together a 25-hour game. Originally in development, Neil Druckmann and Haley Gross, the game's writers, had it in different spots throughout the story. In the end, they settled on having the scene at the end of the game. So why is the scene being moved to some point in Season 2, before anything with Abby happens? It is no longer the missing piece of the puzzle. Now it's that one corner piece you got that makes the puzzle a little easier. It's still a nice piece to have, but the feeling of finality is gone. I guess we'll just have to see. He doesn't, what does he say to her?
I saved her.
Oh. No. 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 Happy The Last of Us Day, everyone. Fuck.